Good evening, brave nation. My name is J.J. Wall, principal of Heard County High School. As we begin the commencement exercises for the class of 2020, it is my prayer that our entire brave nation community is able to be surrounded by family, friends, and loved ones in the comfort of their own home as we come together to honor our graduates. The graduation ceremony is a time-honored tradition that we were determined to continue regardless of the current circumstances. As a first-year principal, this is not how I imagined our graduation ceremony. For you seniors, I can only imagine those feelings must be magnified. Although this is not the graduation ceremony you had envisioned, nothing can take away from this monumental accomplishment in each of your lives. Regardless of the current circumstances, this is a momentous occasion that deserves celebrating. Graduation is a milestone in every student's life. It is a testament to the hard work, perseverance, dedication, determination, and sacrifice of both the graduate and his or her family. So on behalf of our graduates, I would like to welcome you, your family, friends, and loved ones to join with us together as we celebrate the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. To celebrate this accomplishment, Mr. Tisdale began a tradition of having each graduate sign the robe. That is a tradition that we will continue, and tonight I am humbled and honored to be wearing that robe. After tonight, this robe will be displayed in our school in honor of these graduates and to encourage our underclassmen. The class of 2020 has earned many accomplishments that will leave a legacy at Heard County High School. Tonight, I'd like to recognize these accomplishments. One of our graduates, Michael Payton, has earned the Georgia Seal of Biliteracy. In order to qualify for this seal, he had to meet the following criteria: achieve a minimum letter grade B average on all English language arts classes required for graduation, and demonstrate high proficiency in an additional world language. The class of 2020 was part of a softball program that earned 3 region championships, 1 region runner-up, 4 Sweet 16 appearances, and 3 Elite 8 appearances. They were part of the men's tennis program that won 1 5AA region championship, 1 region runner-up, and made 2 Sweet 16 appearances. They were part of a women's tennis program that earned 2 5AA region championships and made 2 Sweet 16 appearances. They were part of a marching band that was class champions at the Wolverine Classic, top 5 in Class A at the Georgia Band Championships in Macon, and an all-star superior ratings and percussion champions at the Old South Marching Festival in Noonan. These seniors led the band in earning not 1 but 2 class championships at the East Georgia Marching Contest in Statesboro and the Legacy of Champions Contest in Carrollton. They were part of a symphonic band that contributed to 2 superior ratings at the Georgia Music Educators Large Group Performance Evaluation. The class of 2020 was part of the men's basketball program that earned 1 region championship, made 3 state playoff appearances, and made 1 Sweet 16 appearance. They were part of a women's basketball program that earned 1 region championship, made 4 state playoff appearances, and made 1 Elite 8 appearance. They were part of a wrestling program that featured a multi-year state placer in Winn Denny. They were part of a track and field program that featured a multi-year state placer in Torrey Caldwell in both high jump and pole vault. The class of 2020 contributed to a baseball program that made 3 state playoff appearances, 1 Elite 8 appearance, and had their first series win against Callaway in school history. They were part of a weightlifting program that earned 2 area championships in all classifications and earned 2 state championships. They were part of a football program that made 4 state playoff appearances, 2 region championships, 2 Final Four appearances, and 1 state championship. 1 member of the class of 2020 graduated high school in 3 years. The class of 2020 is also the first class ever to have a virtual graduation ceremony. I am confident that this list of accomplishments is just the tip of the iceberg for the great things the class of 2020 will be known for. Before we continue with our virtual graduation ceremony, there are several important recognitions I would like to make. I would like to recognize our Heard County Board of Education. The class of 2020 has benefited from your hard work and dedication as you support our motto of putting kids first. I thank you for your continued support as we have tried to be creative and think outside the box as we celebrate our graduates. The class of 2020 would like to recognize you individually. Mr. Roger Harrod, Chairman, Mr. Mike Crockett, Vice Chairman, Mrs. Ashley Aubrey, Mr. Greg Holcomb, and Mr. Chad Wood. I would like to recognize our teachers and staff members from Heard County Elementary, Ephesus Elementary, Central Hatchie Elementary, and Heard County Middle School. You each had a vital role in the lives of these graduates. You have helped lay the foundation that will last a lifetime for each of these young men and women. To the teachers at Heard County High School, I would like to thank you for your commitment and dedication to the success of each one of our students. You have shown grit and determination in order to ensure each member of the class of 2020 is here tonight. I am blessed and humbled to have the opportunity to work alongside each of you. I want to thank Coach Shane Lassiter, our County Athletic Director, for always being willing to do whatever is necessary. We would not have been able to pull off this virtual graduation ceremony had it not been for him. I'd like to thank Ms. Lori Cabe, our senior sponsor, school secretary, school nurse, school mom, and the myriad of other titles she holds for all that she has done. She has been instrumental in ensuring that each member of our senior class is graduating. I'd like to thank Ms. Becky Roberts, our school counselor, for the countless hours she has spent reviewing schedules and transcripts, talking to students and parents, planning meetings, and ensuring that these students are not only graduated, but also prepared for the next chapter of their lives by either enlistment, enrollment, or employment. I'd like to thank Ms. Stephanie Hall and Mr. James Arp, our assistant principals, for their leadership and willingness to always put kids first. They too are always willing to do whatever is necessary to ensure that we do what is best for kids. I would like to recognize our central office personnel for their continued support and leadership. To our superintendent, Mr. Kay, thank you for your willingness and creativity to allow us to celebrate our seniors with this virtual graduation. Your willingness to put kids first is second to none. Your constant reminder of joy, Jesus, others, yourself, is a reminder of what a special place Heard County is. Mr. Tisdale, as you passed on the chair of principalship in January, I thank you for your continued support and willingness to lend a helping hand. You have laid the foundation for this year's graduates as you have been a part of their high school experience since day one. Coach Trent Bianco, I thank you for the countless hours you have spent recording video clips and splicing them together to put together this virtual graduation. This is something the class of 2020 will have with them forever. This list of individuals to thank could go on and on. I hope you see that it is not just one individual, but the collective effort of many that have truly put kids first and built lasting relationships with these students that has made not only high school graduation possible for the class of 2020, but also a successful future. I would like to thank all our parents, grandparents, and loved ones. Without your support and determination, your child would not be who he or she is today, and certainly would not be ready to earn the title of graduate. On behalf of the class of 2020, thank you, we love you, and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray with me. God, we are here today under strange circumstances. This is a very scary time, but we know that as long as we put our faith and trust in you, everything will be okay. Still, this is our chance as seniors to celebrate your blessings. Thank you, God, for the countless blessings you have given us. A wonderful school system with amazing teachers and administrators, friends that we've been able to grow up with, and memories that we will cherish forever. Thank you for blessing us with the resources and dedicated school system that have enabled us to have a graduation ceremony at all. As we move on to a new chapter of our lives, I ask that you guide all of us seniors. Be with us in whatever path you have planned for us. Thank you again, God, for the memorable time you've given us as Heard County Braves. Amen.
I don't have a lot to say other than I was very thankful for the time I got to spend with Ryan. He was one of my closest friends and one of the best people I've ever met. And it's very sad what happened. And I know it's on all of our minds a lot more than we feel it should be, but it's not. It's not abnormal for that to happen. And the only way to get over any of this and to deal with it is you have to live for the dead. It's the only way to honor them.
To be honest, I postponed writing this for as long as I possibly could, only because I didn't really know how to put into words how much Ryan Tatum meant to me and how much his presence alone impacted my life. When the governor announced that we would be finishing the rest of the school year online, my first thought was, oh my gosh, it's too soon, I'm supposed to graduate. But after reading hundreds of other seniors' posts on Instagram and social media, I couldn't help but think about Ryan. In the 6 years that I was blessed to know him, I can't seem to remember a day that I didn't see a smile on his face. He always had a brighter outlook on life, no matter the circumstances, and everyone around him could see that. At first, I thought, I wish he were here, and I wish he could walk alongside me and put on a cap and gown. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that he's not missing out on anything. He's experiencing something so much greater than a high school graduation right now. I know that Ryan's exactly where God intended him to be, and it gives me comfort to know that he's there in heaven. And I know that everyone in the class of 2020 will be exactly where God intends for them to be.
Class of 2020, before we begin, I would like to commend you on your hard work and perseverance. When I came to Heard County Middle School for your 8th grade year, I noted then that your grit and your willingness to hustle could not be outmatched. This was evident in all that you did. Throughout your 4 years of high school, that work ethic has continued in your academics, athletics, and other extracurricular activities. Each year this class was at Heard County High School, you were recognized by the U.S. News and World Report as one of America's top high schools. When the total athletic, academic, band, and projected Hope and Zell Miller scholarship monies are combined, the class of 2020 has earned approximately $2.2 million, and over 3/4 of that money was earned in academics. Our next two speakers are two outstanding young men, Charles Bryan, our salutatorian, and Michael Payton, our valedictorian. They are both young men of class and character. I am proud of them as they represent the class of 2020 with their respective titles.
Good evening, students, family members, and the school board staff. To begin with, I would like to thank all of you for being here today. You all have had a profound impact on the students that will be graduating today. I feel it is safe to say that I speak on behalf of the whole class of 2020 when I say thank you for all of your combined efforts that you all have invested into us to this day. While I was sitting in my room writing this speech, I came to the realization that there have been many events and people who have helped us get here. There are always people who will tell you that you are going to do great things, and it is truly a blessing to have them. However, what I truly believe pushes us to persevere is not the supporters, but rather the opposite, the ones who bring us down. These people often convince us that we will not achieve greatness. Greatness is defined as being a concept of a state of superiority affecting a person, object, or place. So, what makes a person great? Well, one quality of a great person is that they never retreat from a negative situation. We all have faced numerous negative situations in the past 14 years of our lives, and yet, here we are. Everyone sitting here in front of you today did not retreat, therefore making them great. Looking back at the beginning, we can all agree it has been crazy, but that did not stop any of the people in front of you today from pushing themselves to their limits to go forward and achieve such an amazing accomplishment. This year has been a bit of a spin, I think we can all agree. Here we are on a virtual graduation rather than Staples Stadium, about to finally get the ceremony we have waited what seems like all of our lives to be a part of. We have worked so hard to get to this moment in our lives, and it is way different than we could have ever imagined it to be. But that does not make it bad or any less of an accomplishment than any other year. In fact, I believe this year is just as extraordinary because we have overcome such a tremendous challenge. Here before you today are boys and girls who were told your senior year is gone. What a sad, devastating statement to hear as a high school senior. These seniors had to face possibly having no graduation and no senior prom. To the average person out of school, this might not seem like much, but to us, as seniors, this is very important. These are the memories that will last a lifetime and the ones we will tell our spouses and children. Those are some of the last memories we as a class will ever make together. I know we are still missing out on a lot of great things, such as senior skip day, graduation week, and others, but we are thankful for the opportunities such as this one to make a great memory that is so dear to our hearts. Despite these obstacles, the class of 2020 persevered through a hard time and accomplished such an amazing goal. I think I speak for everyone when I say our hearts are pounding, sweat is rolling, and stomachs are full of butterflies, but we are ready. We are ready to go out into the world and pursue college degrees, military services, jobs, or multiple things all at once. We are ready to start the next journey in life thanks to everyone's combined efforts. Parents, guardians, teachers, and administrators, we are so grateful for all of the valuable things you have taught us from learning our ABCs to now. The class is thankful that you have given us opportunities to be a part of things that we thought we were going to miss. We are thankful as a class for the important lessons we have taught each other as well. Not only have we learned together, we have lived together through good and bad. We all have waited countless hours for this day, wondering constantly if all that work was going to be worth it. Standing here today, I believe my class agrees with me when I say it was definitely worth it. We all have ridden the roller coaster of high school, and now it is time to move on to the next line and ride the next roller coaster of life. There are a couple of people I would personally like to thank. To begin with, my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always supporting me in all my craziest ideas and dreams. Thank you, Michaela, for sticking with me and putting up with all my nonsense. I have been told by my best friend to make sure I said something about him. So, thank you, Russ. Thank you to the entire band as well for providing me with a family, and thank you to the drumline for providing me with a home. I know I'm going to miss all the late nights, early mornings, and even the all-nighters. To conclude, thank you, Heard County High School, for the beginning, the middle, and what is not the end, but rather the stepping stone to a new beginning that I cannot imagine.
Whether it was by the hand of God or sheer luck, I will never quite know, but I've ended up before you all today speaking on behalf of all 140 members of the class of 2020 with the shining title of valedictorian. Do I truly feel that I'm the most deserving of the honor to be up here speaking? Not really by a mile. I can easily think of a dozen people who had a better work ethic than me, who had a better personality than me, who are more involved in school and community life, who had a better delivering than I do when I speak in public, who are just better qualified overall to be in my position. But where are their titles? One pulled through and earned his title as salutatorian, and rightfully so, but all the others who are more deserving of me to be up here don't have their title. Fact of the matter is, sometimes things happen in life that we don't understand. Some will just say that I played the game of school better than everyone else and would use that to criticize the system, but that wouldn't be fair to everyone up here who's done right by us for 4 years now. But when things happen that we don't understand, they don't have to break us. When they happen, we can thrive from them and survive, because we as a class have already been strong enough to handle whatever the book's thrown at us for the past 4 years now. If any of the other people I mentioned earlier up here, they probably use some, quote, inspiring quote to try and pump everyone up, or be fake to try and sound like the happiest person on earth when everything's not all sunshine and rainbows. But I've elected to just tell things as they are, since that's my style. I don't have to wax poetic for everyone to understand what I mean about things we can't understand. The best example any of us will ever see is the humble coronavirus pandemic, which has already infected over 1 million people in America. And along with the millions of other people's lives it's disrupted, us seniors have had our moment in the sun stolen from us before we even knew it was happening. There will be no more enjoying our last few minutes with friends, no more counting down the seconds until we could get rid of that certain teacher for good, no more procrastinating about all the homework we haven't bothered to touch, but that's a good thing no matter what some teachers here would like you think. No more daydreaming about prom, graduation, senior walk, or 1,000 other things. Our senior reward was weeks of quarantine and 1,000 great memories stolen. But in the end, we ended up prevailing all right. It took us a different path than we expected, but here we are in the end, just as okay as we ever were. A lot of valedictorians like to go on about how great of a class we are, what we've overcome, where we're going to go, in every excruciating detail, but the fact of the matter is I don't have to tell us how great we are because we already knew coming in that we'd be a great class. And 4 years later, we've lived up to our own expectations and that of everyone else. Just by being at graduation, we've all spent over 2/3 of our lives so far improving ourselves, seeking knowledge, and finding the very best in ourselves, and that work has finally come to a head at last. But as always, there's a lot more to us than just graduation. We've all done many great things in our experiences in high school, both great, small, and somewhere in between, and I can't hope to describe all of them, so I'll just give praise to the fact that we are all dedicated and willing enough to do all these things. From the boring yet rewarding academics, or so they want you to think, to the football state championship everyone's still proud of a year and a half later, to the band, to the other club activities, to 1,000 other things. We've all left the most unique legacy of any class here. In 4 years, we've already done more than a lot of other classes have, and when we go out in the real world, we'll show them what we're made of even more so. The best part of any valedictorian speech is getting to reflect on the 4 years we spent in this school. Hopefully I can speak for everyone here when I say that my time here was peaceful, challenging academically, but pretty enjoyable overall, not too stressful. But since we've all had 1,000 different experiences in our time here, and I can't comment on them all, hopefully I can just use my own experience and hope you all fit in the mold in some way. When I first got here in 2016, I had no clue where to start, what to do, where to begin, anything. Some days I got completely lost and just fell down the stairs. My problem really wasn't the academics or the classwork or the clubs or anything school related, since that came pretty easily. It was the new social life I'd been dumped in the middle of. I wasn't a very socially intelligent boy, so I had no clue what to do with all the situations I was finding myself in all of a sudden. It was like overnight the people I'd known for 10 years had changed completely, and I started drifting away from too many of them. But eventually I got many of them back and made new friends to make up for that. And with that came a bunch of confidence that I could do whatever I saw fit. And it was that confidence that made me embarrass myself every other day, more or less. To say that I said and did dumb things back then was an understatement. Just like everybody else here, I had to learn the very hard way that not everything you think is a good idea to say out loud. Having fun poked at me in math class every single day drove that point home pretty quickly. But eventually I finally got the hang of how to act in public school. Sometimes. I still don't understand half of what went on around here, but I was ready to move on with my life after that year, and so are most of you. Sophomore year was alright. Didn't really improve on the original, but like every bad sequel, it makes you laugh when someone does something stupid. I kept going on about my daily grind, still without a thought for the future after the moment I was living in, and with the exact same mindset as freshman year, which led straight to me making nearly half my math and Spanish classes not liking me one bit. And it was this year that I truly had to cope with the fact that my life and my childhood were about to end for good, and I had to get with the grind, so to speak. I also started to learn why students don't like certain teachers, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that part of it. I wish I could say I grew as a person during that time, but I really can't. Some valedictorians make it seem like every second you spend in public school is a character development moment and a life-changing experience, but that's not hardly the case. Sometimes nothing important has to happen in a year for you to enjoy it. That was the case for me sophomore year. Junior year, on the other hand, was either the start of the end or the beginning of something special, depending on your mindset. We finally came near adulthood, formed the characters we carry on into life after school, and we were finally within shouting sight of the end. But that year also started a bunch of struggles for all of us. Personally, I had 1,000 different doubts and crises of self-confidence. I was always worrying about one thing, procrastinating on something else, wondering about a third thing, with having a fourth and fifth thing on my plates, and worrying that I wouldn't succeed at any of it. There was college on the horizon, in the pathways, finals, Coach Danny's quote-unquote easy chemistry work, prom, dual enrollment, work, family problems, and a million other issues that we all had to face in our time here. And on top of it all, we had to deal with the loss of one of our own, Ryan Tatum. Why God decided he was the one that had to leave, I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't like to think about. He had the potential to be in my spot easily right now, and God knows he had a far better personality than me or most people here, but whether it was God, fate, the universe, or whatever else, he had to head out early. I don't want to get sidetracked into my feelings, but I know I can't go without reminding everyone that even though he's gone, we haven't forgotten him, and we never will. But after all that came the best year of all, even if it was cut short. Senior year is only great, though, because you could spend half of it doing absolutely nothing. I know that between Bianco's, Tillman's, and all of my online classes, I spent half the days either on the internet, burning myself trying to cook, or some combination of the two. But even while doing the work, we all didn't mind it as much because we all knew that the end was in sight and we were about to leave for good. This was the time when we all rushed to make our plans for the rest of our lives, started to tie up the loose ends we had around here, enjoying the last few sweet moments with friends, and we generally just wanted to run out the door and never look back. Life went on as normal, but it was all building up to the great climax in May. And until the coronavirus stepped in and ruined all that, it looked like nothing could touch our moment in the sun. But as you all know, that wasn't quite meant to be. But in the end, here we all are at last, about to say goodbye for the last time and head out onto the world stage. Before I end, let me just give a word of thanks to this school and all the people here who have been nothing but helpful to me and all the students here for the past 4 years. I'm sure I know what's going through a lot of your minds, and you're not wrong. Yeah, some of the rules were kind of senseless. Yeah, some of the teachers made you want to scream in anger. But the fact of the matter is, every single one of us appreciated our time here, and we all see the value in it, no matter what some of you want to complain about. We all know how great of an education and experience we've had here, socially and otherwise, and I, for one, wouldn't have wanted to have it anywhere else but here. For my closing, let me just say one thing. It takes more than a virus from the other side of the world to break us all. I may not have known most seniors here personally, but I know that we as a class are strong enough to handle whatever this world can throw at us. For 12 years now, we've all struggled through everything in the book to get where we're at today, and the chaos that's befallen the world lately can't change any of that. In these past 4 years, we've shown Heard County what we're made of, and we're about to head out into the world stage and show everyone else what we're made of, too. So as you leave Heard County High School for the last time, don't be too concerned for your future. You can be scared and concerned about a dozen other things like I am, but at the end of the day, you'll be all right as long as you've shown the same determination, grit, and just plain old stubbornness like you've shown me and everyone else here. Keep that mindset in mind, and you will not fail no matter what you get to in life. Thank you.
I have the honor and privilege of recognizing a group of students who wanted to get an early start on their college education through our dual enrollment program. Before I start with the statistics, I'd like to say, students, thank you for being a fun, hardworking group. Parents, you've done a great job. Congratulations to you all. In the future, I look forward to hearing about the exciting adventures that await each of you. Your senior class had 63 students that participated in the dual enrollment program. 51 seniors attended West Georgia Technical College to further their education. 5 enrolled in the nurse aid program, 5 in welding, 1 in cosmetology, and 41 students enrolled in core academic coursework. These students successfully completed 655 college credit hours, saving parents $115,071 in tuition. Our graduating class had 12 students that attended the University of West Georgia. Collectively, this group completed 210 university credit hours and maintained an overall GPA of 3.35, saving parents $38,247 in tuition cost. 4 students, Charles Bryan, Brandon Dixon, Lily Langley, and Kristen Phillips, were dual enrolled at both West Georgia Tech and University of West Georgia. The students mentioned represent roughly a quarter of the class of 2020. They have completed 865 hours of college credit before leaving high school. This group of seniors has saved parents a total of $153,000 in college tuition by being enrolled early in college programs. Class of 2020, I am so proud of your accomplishments. You have set a great example for our brave nation. You are proof that hard work, dedication, and commitment pay off. Congratulations on a job well done.
Hey folks, I'm privileged to speak to you today in this virtual graduation, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to do so. Thanks to the administration at Heard High and our county leadership for making sure that they did something for the class of 2020 and that you guys had some sort of a graduation ceremony. To say that this COVID-19 situation is bizarre would be an understatement. But I can also honestly say that this group of students has the character and fortitude to weather a storm like this. But I hope you realize that despite the difficulties that this pandemic has created, it does not define you. In fact, more than anything, your response to the sudden shutdown and the uncertainty that accompanied it does. I'm proud of the way that you've handled this adversity. I've seen countless posts on social media from you guys that reflect the positivity, the hope, and the promise that is associated with the heart of the class of 2020. Throughout our country and throughout the world, we've seen a growing support for not only this graduating class, but for also the essential workers that have been so instrumental in keeping America going. You've heard us talk about the 3 E's, and I've spoken to many of you about your post-graduation plans. This pandemic, if anything, has shown us how fragile our economy is without the skilled labor and the logistics personnel that we need to keep our country moving forward. I hope you've taken notice of the folks that are working in the professions that we've deemed essential during this pandemic, and I trust that you take that into consideration as you move forward in the next chapter of your life. You know, sometimes God, He closes doors, He allows roadblocks to challenge us, or just changes our opportunities. There are often things that are out of our control, and the only thing we do have power over is our attitude. I pray that you have the resolve and the grit to maintain your character and integrity in those moments, because those moments lead to growth, both spiritually and personally. So as you graduate, I want to share a few tips for the next chapter, and maybe the rest of your life as well. I don't know. I didn't come up with all of them, but I try to remember them, and when applicable, I try to live by them. Enjoy your life. Meet new people, but don't forget your old friends. Avoid people that will pull you down, because although they may seem cool at the time or in the moment, a few years from now, they're going to be losers. If you go to college, go to class. Don't do drugs. Pick a career that you will enjoy, not necessarily one that will make you the most money. Pray from time to time. Do not get a credit card straight out of high school. You don't need it. It's only going to hurt you in the long run. Learn from your mistakes and make them count for something other than a poor choice. Remember high school, but don't relive it. Remember the compliments someone gives you, not the criticisms. Don't be afraid to take risks, knowing that there will be times when you succeed and times when you fail, but both are equally important. Have fun. Live your life. Love your family. Tell people how you feel, because you never know what tomorrow holds. Don't take your family for granted. Don't take your friends for granted. Shoot, don't take anything for granted. Be thankful to God for what you have, because it's usually more than what you deserve. And remember that everything you do in life has a consequence. Everything. That consequence can be good, it can be bad, it may be great, and it might not even be noticeable. But there are always consequences for your choices. Class of 2020, congratulations on a job well done. It has been my pleasure and my privilege to be your principal, and you always hold a special place in my heart. I love you. I wish you nothing but the best, and go Braves.
Earlier, I made it a point to thank a long list of individuals. There is one more thank you that is deserved. I want to thank the class of 2020. Thank you for the hard work that you put in to get to this point. Thank you for the countless hours you spent studying for tests and exams, all while being involved in extracurricular activities, whether it be athletics, band, fine arts, clubs, community service projects, or dual enrollment. Many of you did all this while also working part-time jobs. Thank you for pushing each one of your classmates and holding them accountable so they could be here tonight. I had the privilege of being with you your 8th grade year at Heard County Middle School, and now the honor to be with you at high school for your senior year. I am truly proud of the young adults each of you has matured into. I have seen the transformation from middle school students that were a little unsure of themselves, a little bit goofy, and sure to laugh at almost anything, to graduates that are much more confident in themselves and ready to make a positive impact on the world before them. This is inspiring, to say the least. The list of accomplishments and accolades you have earned is phenomenal, but that is not what makes you great. It is who you are at your core, in your heart and in your soul, that makes you great. After suffering the loss of a beloved classmate your junior year, you came together to comfort each other and the family. As a class, you were eager to honor the memory of Ryan Tatum and let everybody know that he is still a part of you. As a class, you have gone through something no other graduating class has endured. Halfway into the second semester of your senior year, you were sent home without the opportunity to return. You have missed out on countless things, from your last baseball game, last tennis match, last track meet, last band performance, and you can fill in the blank. Senior week has come and gone with no senior walk, no senior breakfast, nor any of the other activities that were anticipated. Although this is not how you envision spending your final months of your senior year, you have embraced this and have overcome it. You are the first class to have ever finished high school through digital learning. You are the first class to put together a virtual graduation. You have paved the way for future classes to let them know anything is possible. As you have worked diligently to fulfill all the requirements to be given the title graduate, you have also been preparing for the future. In line with the 3 E's that you constantly hear, each of you has made plans to enlist in a branch of the military, enroll in a college or university, or begin employment. As you embark on this next chapter of your life, dream big. Work hard to make those dreams a reality. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Coaches often tell their players to play every game like it's their last, but this applies to all aspects of life. So grasp every opportunity and make the most of it. Don't get hung up on the adversity that you will face, because it will happen. Instead, focus on how you respond. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 2 and 4, we are told, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." This scripture is always relevant, but rings especially true now. Wherever life takes you, please know that we will always be here for you if and when you need something. May God bless you and protect you as you go out into the world. And now, in accordance with Georgia law, Title 20, and the authority found therein, as principal of Heard County High School, I do hereby proclaim and confirm that all seniors receiving diplomas tonight have completed all prescribed academic requirements set forth by the Georgia State Board of Education and the Heard County Board of Education, and they are now to receive their diplomas.
Good evening, Brave Nation. My name is Rodney Kay, Superintendent at Heard County Schools, and tonight I come to you on behalf of the Heard County Board of Education, Chairman Mr. Roger Herod, Vice Chairman Mr. Mike Crockett, Board members Ashley Aubrey, Greg Holcomb, and Chad Wood. I'd like to thank the members of our Board of Education for their support of our school system and thank them for their guidance over this past school year. This past school year has been like none other during my 26 years in education. And tonight, as you sit with family members in your living rooms all over Heard County, this will be like no other ceremony we've ever had. My hope is that we will be able to gather on July 25th and have our regular ceremony. And this YouTube video will be a memento you will enjoy for the rest of your life. Rather than spending time on what's different, what may have been lost, what's changed, I'd like to focus on just the opposite. For example, what's not different for the class of 2020 is the love and pride that over 250 Heard County School System employees feel for you. Like other graduates of Heard High, you have 14 years of schooling under your belts, countless hours of dedication to your various crafts. Like other graduates of Heard High, you will forever be a part of the One Brave Nation. Before I dive into my address, I would be remiss if I didn't stop for a second and say thank you to several people who have gone above and beyond in preparing this for you. Our friends at Balfour, specifically Mr. John Upchurch, has gone out of his way to make this experience possible. Your principal, Mr. Wall, has taken over during a very difficult time and has had the ability to think outside of the box. Your senior sponsor, Lori Cabe, and your counselor, Becky Roberts, have always been willing to dive in and help, and they played a huge role in bringing you this ceremony along with assistant principals James Art and Stephanie Hall. Coach Shane Lassiter and the coaching staff came together and put the field together for you so that you could have your moment in Staples Stadium. And last but certainly not least, Coach Trent Bianco, our AV Tech teacher at Herd High, has dedicated countless hours splicing video clips together to create tonight's special production. As a father of a 2020 graduate, I cannot tell you how appreciative I am for all of the people who have gone above and beyond and made this event special. We thoroughly enjoyed the time with our daughter Morgan on the field. Many people would look at what's been done in our community and say, wow, that's incredible. To me, I look at it and say it's just another day of living out the HC way and being a part of the One Brave Nation. Graduates, you've been a part of a special community that has helped shape who you are today, and it's my prayer that you have not let lessons pass you by. Lessons of service, selflessness, and lessons of belonging to a community. Wherever you go, in whatever community you end up in, those are valuable lessons that can change the world. You've heard over your time in our school system a couple of things that I hope stick with you. We try to live by the motto of putting kids first. And whatever we do, we try to run it through that filter. It was a motto created by my mentor, Mr. Jerry Prince, and we still try to live it out today. We also talk about joy in our school system, the act of putting Jesus first, then others, then yourself. When you see those things put into action, you see some magical things happen. You see a ceremony such as this, one that has never been done before here in our school system, but one that was created by leaders who put kids first and walk out that acronym of joy each and every day. We are blessed community indeed. I attended an FCA Worship on the Lawn event last Saturday night and listened to several high school students share what they had learned through this time of quarantine. I thought I could speak to you tonight about what I've learned through my experience of quarantine. It's something I think you'll be able to take with you and hopefully apply to any situation or tough time you may encounter in your life. Number one, the first thing I learned is about family. I learned that family is something that I neglect when things are normal. My job, my schedule, my priorities seem to get in the way of the people who are most dear to me. When things are normal, I have a tendency to be too busy to slow down to have a conversation with the ones that I love the most. Class of 2020, I pray you never take your family for granted. Time is precious, and the people that are near and dear to you would love nothing more than to spend a little time with you. As things progress back to normal in our community, I hope you will make family time a new normal in your home. Nobody is promised tomorrow, so I encourage you to take advantage of today. The second thing is the word ordinary. Ordinary is actually pretty extraordinary. How many of you have longed just for your ordinary day back? I certainly have. Just an ordinary day of waking up at 6:30, being in the office by 7:30, seeing my colleagues in the office, spending time in the schools and interacting with students and teachers in the schools pretty much summed up the way things were 3 months ago. And now that ordinary's changed. Man, has my perspective changed now. I miss my office colleagues. I miss our schools. I miss our meetings. I miss my ordinary. But it turns out that my ordinary was pretty extraordinary. I just had to have it taken away for me to realize just how truly great it was. Class of 2020, I hope you are able to see how extraordinary the ordinary really is. We are blessed beyond what we deserve with just our ordinary lives. I vowed to never take the ordinary for granted, and I vowed to appreciate what I've been blessed with. The third thing is investment. I've learned through this quarantine that investments return dividends. I'm not talking about money because the stock market certainly hasn't produced dividends over the last several weeks or months. I'm talking about something far more important. I'm talking about the investment of your time. If you want things to grow, you have to invest time in them. You want a nicer looking yard? It'll cost you some time. You want better relationships? It's going to cost you time. We live in a microwave society where we all want what we want, and we want it quickly. Class of 2020, can I tell you something? Microwave dinners aren't fine dining. The good stuff in life takes time. Creating the types of things that we all long for will require an investment on your part. Everybody wants to graduate high school, graduate college, enter the workforce, and make six figures. You can't microwave that. My advice is grab onto a path, invest your time into it, invest your talents into it, invest your heart into it, and then you'll reap the harvest that produces. The final thing I've learned is to not put my hope and faith in temporary things. I've known this since I became a Christian when I was 17 years old, but this quarantine really has reminded me that everything in this world is temporary. Put your faith in sports heroes if you'd like. Put your faith in your job or career if you'd like. Put your faith in your friends if you'd like. Put your faith in the world leaders if you'd like. Put your faith in sports if you'd like. I've done them all. But there's only one thing that will ever be enough for you. That's the same person who went against the grain thousands of years ago and came down to serve rather than be served. So in summary, I hope you will never take your family for granted. They love you and have helped to get you where you are today. I hope you have learned how extraordinary the ordinary is. I hope you will invest in the right things. There's no shortcut to the top, and you can't microwave success. Success comes from a dedication to something, an investment in it. It's worth your time. And most of all, class of 2020, I hope you realize that placing your hope and your happiness in the things of this world will only lead to disappointment and despair. In closing, congratulations to all the faculty and staff of the Heard County School System. We've produced 139 more who are ready to tackle the world of employment, enlistment, and enrollment. A special congratulations to the supporters of each graduate, family members who have supported through all of the ups and downs and have helped a graduate realize this special accomplishment. And finally, one last congratulations to the class of 2020. This is a place you will always be welcome. May God bless you beyond your wildest dreams, and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
With highest academic honors, Michael Joseph Payton. With second highest academic honors, Charles Allen Bryan. Henry William Thomas Benefield, with honors. Demetrius Adonis Brown, with honors. Victoria Eden Caldwell, with honors. Marco Tong Ching, with honors. Betty Jean Justine Covington, with honors. Garrett Witt Kerbo, with honors. Chloe Brianna Denny, with honors. David Allen Dunn, with honors. Noah Chandler Duran, with honors. Natasha Diana Fairchild, with honors. William Elijah Finch, with honors. Kaylee Grace Freeman, with honors. Marissa Nicole Garza, with honors. Mary Christian Herndon, with honors. Caroline Gabrielle Jones, with honors. Kenneth Ezra Nathaniel Kaiser, with honors. Savannah Grace Knowles, with honors. Lily Ann Langley, with honors. Elena Faith McQueen, with honors. Jesus Mendoza, with honors. Kristen Nicole Phillips, with honors. Alicia Deanna Philpott, with honors. Corey Lane Smith, with honors. Lakin Alexandra Whitaker, with honors. Callista Malin Addison. Deanna Renee Allen. Jacorian Contavious Allen. Megan Nicole Allen. Desiree Cortland Anderson. Michael Corbin Ashworth. Micaiah Kenziah Alston. Dalton Tyler Aycock. Kimberly Mason Benefield. Jamira Latrice Bulware. Brianna Nicole Breed. Courtney McKell Brown. Matthew Linnell Brown. Kendra Lee Burden. Kiera Sky Burden. Adam Skylar Bussey. Aiden David Bird. Austin Kyle Cantrell. Kirby John Caputa. Dylan Tyrone Call. James Martin Clark. Samuel Bailey Cook. Richard Eugene Cooley II. Carly Isabella Craven. Shanna Marie Crawley. Tasia Shabria Crowder. Emily Grace Davis. Abriana May Day. Winston Charles Denny. Brandon Michael Dixon. Chandler John Downward. Sean Jasper Dyer. Kaylee Alyssa Edwards. Cameron Wayne Elkins. Angelique Elizabeth Elrod. Jason Almerida, Florida. Preston Zane Freeman. Mahaley Camille Gaddy. Kaylee Alyssa Gaskins. Connor Shane Goss. Brittany Gail Grayley. Alex Danny Hale. Zachary Brian Hallmark. Jake Taylor Herod. Christopher Bailey Hefner. Haley Shay Henry. Nikki Amber Hill. Hannah Michelle Holden. Devin Jacob Holly. Garen Keith Holly. Kaylee Elizabeth Holiday. Dresden DeAndre Jeffries. Colson Dean Giles. Caitlin Elizabeth Giles. Trequavion Keyshawn Johnson. Catherine Grace Jones. Anthony Ryan Jordan. Morgan Jean Kay. Corey Joseph Andrews Keel. Jacqueline Lanaya Marie Kersey. Justice Raziel Khan. Randy Rayanne Langley. Victoria Sage Manders. Shantika Quashay Marshall. Daniel Seth Mason. Madison Ann May. Callum Riley McKay. Aiden Ray McClellan. Russell Dale Moody. Jacob Scott Moreland. Callie Victoria Norrid. Anthony Trayvon Owens. Elijah Cameron Person. Cameron O'Brien Phillips. Alyssa Deani Philpott. Jade Desiree Piper. Montana Carlene Pitts. Robert Allen Poindexter III. Nicholas Jack Powell. Tristan Michael Pruitt. Morgan Taylor Pugh. Christian Michael Quick. Caden Allen Rains. Kaya Rain Ramos. Jennifer Lee Ray. Emily Madison Rogers. Justin Cameron Rogers. Kaylee Mae Schneider. Piper Elizabeth Scott. Chance Lawrence Shellnut. Dakota Ray Shorter. Cameron Shay Smith. Ethan Drake Sorrentino. Colby Alexander Steele. Lakin Lane Stevens. Jaquavius Jaquan Swint. Harmony Maureen Taylor. Jordan Andrew Thompson. Stephen Dale Thornhill. Marquavius Jaquan Thornton. Makita Nolani Thrash. Pittman Todd Turner. Kansas Elizabeth Fields Ushery. Deborah Grace Taylor Vinson. Anthony Riley Walker. Michael Dylan Walker. Benjamin Lee West. Alkevion LaShawn Whitlow. Jamal Edwin Williams. Jacob Andrew Williamson. Jawan Lamar Wright.
thee faithfully. We will ever love our high school, and we promise loyalty.
This year's class is different from the previous graduating classes due to the fact of us being impacted directly by COVID-19. The virus kept us from being able to do traditional activities of seniors here at Howard County High School. Despite being kept from seeing our friends and favorite teachers for the remaining months of our final year, we stayed strong and did not allow this to stop us from finishing the school year correctly. It is a tradition at Howard County High School for the senior class to give something back to the school, which has played such an integral part of our lives. This year, the class of 2020 is donating a custom-made plaque of the Howard County H to be hung in the cafeteria. This gift will represent us forever. For students of the future, enjoy these 4 years and never take them for granted.
The gesture of moving the tassel from one side of the cap to the other symbolizes the individual's movement from student to graduate. So graduates of the distinguished class of 2020, join me in turning our tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2020 alumni of Howard County High School.